Hello again. I'm Jacob Matthew Crawford, and this is my grandfather.
Hello again.
And today we're going to be reacting to the very first review ever put out by Eric Rodriguez, aka the Blockbuster Buster. Why his first review? Well, coming up, or maybe it already has by the time I put out this video, the 8th season of his show, the Blockbuster Buster, is underway, and coming up is the 300th review, and I thought as a way to, celebrate, coincide, and just see where he began, go back and watch the first review, and maybe compare to how he does things now. And the first movie he ever talked about was the 2007 Michael Bay Transformers movie, so let's get into it and see what he was like back then.
Let's see.
In a world of uncertainty, where movie theaters are plagued by remakes and sequels, in a world where big-budget movies can still suck, in this world we have the Blockbuster Buster. Fanboys and fangirls, my name is ERod, and I'm the Blockbuster Buster. Oh, I hate this movie. So for those of you who don't know, Transformers chronicles the war between two bands of robots, the Autobots and the Decepticons. But personally, I think Lion explains it best. So whether you love or hate this movie, you have to admit, it had a brilliant advertising campaign. The first few trailers wouldn't even show you the Transformers. All you get to see was a shadow. So people who didn't know anything about Transformers were really curious to find out what the movie was about. All the while the hardcore fans couldn't wait to see what their favorite characters were going to look like. So our movie opens up in a military base when suddenly... Holy shit! Whoa! This movie is as bad as I remember. Yeah, fuck this. ERod, where are you going? Forget it, Mario. I can't handle it. Not Shia LaBeouf. You cannot give up. If you give up, then Michael Bay wins. You're right. Can't let Michael Bay win. Not this time. Hey Mario, say more stereotypical Italian stuff.
He already has.
So Shia LaBeouf plays the annoying and virginal Sam Witwicky, who owns a pair of glasses that hold the secret location to the universe-altering Allspark, wherever the hell that is. All the while Megan Fox plays, well, she's a hot chick who, she's essential to the plot because, she's important. Fucking me. So meanwhile, a group of soldiers who belong like they belong on the cover of GQ as opposed to a battlefield get ambushed by a transformer named Scorponok. Now, most of the transformers have the ability to transform into trucks and cars, helicopters, you know, so they can blend in while they're here on Earth. Scorponok has the amazing power to transform into a giant robot scorpion. That's just dumb. So ERod, if you were fighting a giant scorpion, how would you deal with it? Well, I would retreat, regroup, figure out the scorpion's weakness, then formulate a plan, and then I would attack it full force. How do you think Michael Bay would deal with it? The only way Michael Bay knows how to deal with anything. Explosion. So it turns out Shia's car is a good transformer named Bumblebee. So Bumblebee takes Shia and his new, also plausible girlfriend to meet the rest of the Transformers team, which includes
Like the big leather watch he's wearing.
get some coffee. Catch French last night. Just here's that show turning to aliens. So Shia and the Autobots go back to his place to look for the infamous glasses, and this leads to the most pointless scene in film history.
So what light? There's no light. There's no light. You got two lights in your hand. That's what the light is. No, maybe it's door. Look, you can't just bounce into my room like that. You gotta knock. You gotta communicate. We knocked for 5 minutes. You didn't knock. You were screaming at me. Okay? This is repression. What you're doing here. You're ruining my youth. Okay?
For Pete's sakes, you are so defensive. Were you masturbating?
Judy. Was I No, Mom. No, I don't masturbate.
What the shit is this? What was the direction for this scene? Say random shit? Fucking A. So eventually, Shia and the gang are captured by the FBI when suddenly... Did Bumblebee just give Emmy Award-winning actor John Turturro a golden shower?
The Jesus.
That... just... Moving on. So our heroes are taken to a military base where Shia LaBeouf decides he needs to re-explain all the exposition that Optimus Prime gave us in the alley. What, do they think we have Alzheimer's? Here we meet the evil Megatron, who's safely preserved in ice until... I guess there's only one way to handle this situation. Retarded. Didn't they establish earlier in the movie the only way to defeat the Transformers was to freeze them? I mean, they froze Bumblebee, and they had Megatron frozen down in the military base. So why the fuck are they shooting at them? ERod, come down. No, I'm not coming the fuck down. This sucks. Would have played the Michael Bay checklist to cheer you up. Okay. Alright. Let's list off some of the overused camera moves and visuals from Michael Bay movies. Here we go. Check. Check.
No matter what happens, I'm really glad I got in that car.
Shit just got real.
Check. I love this game. So they fight, but you can't tell what the fuck is going on because everything's shot into close-ups. So Shia gets the All-Star and fuck it. The good guys win, the bad guys lose. This movie sucks. End of story. I'm done with this shit. So Transformers has two good things going for it. Number one, the special effects are mind-blowing. And number two, they got Peter Cullen, the real Optimus Prime, to do Optimus Prime's voice. And that's fucking awesome. In spite of this, all of Peter Cullen's collective coolness can't save this movie. It's just riddled with tasteless scenes, humiliating depictions of our childhood icons, and action sequences are just impossible to watch. But the joke's on us, because this movie raised over $300 million at the box office, even defeating my main man, Iron Man. So you win this round, babe. This round. Now, if you excuse me, I have to introduce a certain DVD to my girl, Lucille.
Hammer. Good weapon of choice.
Alas, fate rarely calls upon us at a time of our choosing. Alright guys, one busted, thousands more to go. I'm ERod, I'm the Blockbuster Buster.
Before we start talking, like almost every review he does, he has a little tribute here at the end. And here it is. I dedicate this silly video to my mother and father.
Marlin and Ricky.
Thanks for your support.
That's nice.
Yeah, that is. And after that, he just has a little tease for the next episode, which was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Okay.
So that was the very first review by the Blockbuster Buster all the way back in 2010. What'd you think of it, Guy?
He put a lot of work into it up front to get the different shock and surprise and all of like that. So that part was fun. He moved around a lot, and he laid down a lot. So it was kind of a different way to go for different than what he does now. I think he sits more still. He introduced the hammer, which is
Lucille.
It's pretty much his like trademark, right?
Well, yeah, it's to him what the magic gun is to Linkara.
So, his Buster. Anyway, no, so he laid out the premise. You know, there's really big budget, crappy movies, and he's out here to let us know about them.
Yep.
And
Break them to pieces one at a time.
right. He was balanced though. He said the action of the bots was done very well, he thought, and he seemed to be a little shaky on whether the storyline was, you know, presented very well or not, but that wasn't the intention of this thing. He did look younger. Indeed, he did. And
A little bit.
and for a first video, I'd say he did very well. I think he did very well.
Cool. Me, I love the Blockbuster Buster, and Eric Rodriguez is one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to video making. But I will admit, I'm not the biggest fan of his earliest reviews. Not that he was bad, but it has to mainly kind of do with YouTube and how it was back then. If I remember correctly, YouTube had kind of a time limit on how long your videos could be.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had to be about 10 minutes or less. I think that's why these early reviews are pretty short. And I love ERod, but he works best when his reviews are 20, 30 minutes long. Like, because he has a lot to say, he has a lot to add, and as shown here, he can get pretty elaborate with the camera stuff and the action. Like, even though he's limited, he can create some pretty fun moments.
Yeah, he works at it. Very nice.
And I think he can do a better job with all that when he has no time limit. And but here, I think this was a pretty okay first review. It definitely feels like a first-time video, but that's expected and it's fair. I mean, my early videos are nothing to be proud of. don't go looking for them. You can if you want. But this is a lot better than any of the first video I would have put out. And even though it gets a bit cramped, like he's trying to cram a lot in what limited time he has, he did a reasonably good job, better than some of the other early reviews, and I think the Transformers was a good movie to start out his series with. And some things that I see here that he didn't keep as time went on was how he would spin around in his chair and then cut to the other angle. And as you said, lying down and also just walking into frame, sliding back in the chair continuously. And there are a few things here, once again, that show the signs of a first-time video that he got better with over time, like editing and sound levels, which every reviewer, including me, struggles with. And
yeah, I did notice the sound level of the content was much more diminished compared to his intro and his ending. And then he did have control of that. But yes, I think he's learned.
And also, it feels almost a little bit in this first video, like, I'm not speaking for him as a whole, I'm just talking about his first video. It feels a little like here he was holding back, like in the energy department, like when he screamed, "Bay!" Didn't feel like it could be as loud as it could have been. And, but hey, acting is tough, and he did reasonably well here, and he's pretty good at it these days.
Now tell me, did he was right up front. He looked at it and said, "This is awful." I mean, right out of the box, this is a bad movie. Did he change from that, or is that the way he does his stuff even now? Because it seems to me that he's a little more balanced. He talks. I mean, he was balanced in his presentation.
Well, if it's something he really hates,
Okay.
like at the beginning, I mean the reviews of 2017 when he did the whole going into the movie stuff. We haven't seen that for a while, but most of the time when he shows the DVD, he'll be a bit more ominous than he was here. I mean, he really hates it, like Batman versus Superman. You'll just see the anger come through. But sometimes when he does the intro, he will start out with or "I knew this day would come," and then at the end after weighing the pros and cons, he'll decide if it truly is worthy of getting busted.
I was interested in what he did with the case. He must have wanted to keep it because he kept hitting it, but not so that it would break and smash.
In some episodes, he'll take the remains of movies he's busted, like that have holes in them.
Right.
So, I guess he felt a little more comfortable causing a bit more damage over time. But in case he wants to save them, because I think he has saved busted DVD cases from 2 to 3 years before for certain reviews. He's dedicated to bringing them back if he wants them for something. And my favorite joke in this whole thing, the funniest moment for me, was when he when he picked up the DVD and just punched it with his fist.
I think it was the cover, but yes, definitely. All of a sudden he hit it and off it flies.
What matters? And yeah, not perfect, but very respectfully done first review, and he has gotten so much more talented as time has gone on, and I love just what he's become. He is great, and because I love watching stuff with Guy, whether it be movies or review shows, I think I have managed to turn him into maybe a fan.
Yes, I like Eric. He does well. He's as far as his content, he is balanced. He doesn't waste time. I think on this, is the first video, which I hadn't seen until we watched it right now. The brevity of it, plus he's introducing himself. He's introducing what the hammer's about. He's introducing, how he's going to go and what he's going to do. I think that's exactly right. When he has a little more time, things develop better and the content runs smoother.
Basically, this was the pilot episode for the Blockbuster Buster.
Yeah. And you pointed out to me, he's got, is this a tradition to have a dedication at the end?
Yeah, I think he does that in pretty much every review. Whether, not always to someone he knows personally, usually it's to someone who was involved with the production of the movie he's busting.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's Star Trek, it's maybe Leonard Nimoy. And usually the star of said movie. There's so many, I can't remember all of them right now.
Yeah.
But he does that, and it's always pretty touching to see.
And this is nice. His to his mom and dad.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I think that's all we got to say about the first episode. I guess the best way to wrap this up is, do you have any very, very, very brief thoughts on the Transformers movies?
Well, what little I've seen, I haven't sat down and watched one through.
Me neither.
But it's boring. They're boring. And I could see how kids would like the CGI, Transformers, coming out of being a truck and all of a sudden they're up fighting and all that kind of thing. But after, a few scenes of that, ho hum. It's not the kind of thing that's going to hold my attraction, my attention. I'm not so much of a Shia LaBeouf fan either, but, they threw the franchise to Wahlberg and he couldn't even save it, so.
I'll admit, I've never watched a Transformers movie all the way through. I've watched maybe 10, 20 minutes of the most of each movie on TV, and just after a certain point, I'm just like, I can't take this shit anymore. And I just change the channel. Just, the scenes with the humans are just annoying, and I've never been a big Transformers fan. The cartoons were really before my time, and even when reruns were played, I just never really got into it, and I never played with the toy, so I don't have really much of an attachment. And the most I've seen of the Transformers movies have been through ERod's reviews, and his reviews are funny, but as far as the movies, for now at least, because I made a point to try and put off seeing the movies as long as possible. This is as much as I want to see them right now. Anyway, this has been a fun reaction talking about this. Thanks for joining me, Guy. And here's to the 8th season of the Blockbuster Buster.
Go Eric.